Ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk about something that may seem a little unconventional. It's a message we don't often hear, but it's one that could change your life. Stop being a nice person. Now, I know many of you may think that being nice is the best approach to life. We are often taught from a young age to be kind, polite, and accommodating to everyone. But here's the truth, being a nice person all the time can sometimes hold you back from achieving your full potential. See, being nice often means you're doing everything to please others at the cost of your own happiness, progress, and self-respect. It's a form of self-sacrifice that keeps you stuck in a cycle where you are not standing up for your own needs or desires. If you want to live a life of purpose, fulfillment, and success, you need to stop being just nice and start being assertive, bold, and clear about who you are and what you stand for. Being nice doesn't mean being rude or disrespectful, but it does mean learning when to say no and when to prioritize your own well-being. It's about setting boundaries, focusing on your own goals, and realizing that not everyone will like you, and that's okay. Because when you're focused on making the right moves for your growth, you're going to make a much bigger impact than by simply trying to avoid conflict or criticism. So what does it mean to stop being nice? It means being authentic. It means being true to yourself, no matter what the world expects of you. And most importantly, it means choosing to be a person of substance, not just someone who is liked by everyone. Being polite is important, but never sacrifice your personal goals to please others. Politeness doesn't demand you put your own dreams on hold. Nice doesn't always cut it. Sometimes you need the strength to say no and stand firm, even if people don't like it. Toughness builds character. If you're trying to be liked by everyone, you'll end up pleasing no one, including yourself. The world doesn't need more people who just agree. It needs people who stand for something. Time is your most precious resource. Stop wasting it trying to be nice to everyone. Spend it on things that bring you closer to your goals. Saying no isn't rude, it's necessary. Protect your energy by setting boundaries with people who drain you or distract you from your mission. People appreciate authenticity more than a fake, nice facade. Be real, even if it means facing some uncomfortable moments. Being nice doesn't propel you forward. What drives success is focused action, hard work, and being willing to take risks. Sometimes you have to disagree. It's not about confrontation. It's about standing firm in your beliefs and moving forward with conviction. No one will look out for your personal growth better than you. Stop being nice and start being proactive about seeking opportunities that lead to your success. The world rewards the bold. The nice may be light, but it's the bold who make things happen, who push past obstacles and get things done. Don't confuse politeness with people-pleasing. Politeness is a virtue, a sign of respect and consideration for others, but it should never come at the cost of your own happiness or goals. You see, being polite means showing courtesy and kindness, but people-pleasing takes it a step further. It means sacrificing your own values, your own priorities, and sometimes even your own well-being, just to avoid conflict or to gain approval from others. That's a dangerous trap to fall into. When you focus too much on pleasing everyone, you start to lose sight of who you really are and what you truly want. You become so wrapped up in trying to make others happy that you forget about your own needs. You become a puppet letting others pull the strings. But let me tell you something, this approach to life will get you nowhere. You can't please everyone, nor should you try. The truth is, when you prioritize people-pleasing, you're doing a disservice to yourself and to those around you. People respect others who stand up for what they believe in, who say what they mean and mean what they say. Being polite is important, but it's equally important to stand firm in your own truth, even if that means disagreeing or saying no. If you're constantly worried about keeping others happy, you're likely ignoring your own desires, and that's no way to live. Politeness is about respecting others, but people-pleasing is about losing yourself. The key is balance. Be polite, be considerate, but never at the expense of your own values. Focus on building meaningful relationships that are based on mutual respect, not on who can outplease the other. You're here to live your life with purpose and integrity, not to be a doormat for others' expectations. So remember, politeness is a tool, but people-pleasing is a trap. You have to be a little bit tough. Now, I know some people might think that being tough means being rude, mean, or unapproachable, but that's not what I'm talking about. Toughness is about developing the strength to stand up for yourself, to pursue your dreams with unwavering commitment, and to protect your time, energy, and well-being from distractions and negativity. It's about being resilient in the face of adversity and having the courage to push through when things get hard. Life is full of challenges, and if you're going to succeed, you need to build a level of toughness that allows you to handle those challenges head-on. It's easy to be soft, to go along with the crowd, to take the path of least resistance. But success doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from taking risks, making tough decisions, and sometimes doing the uncomfortable things that others won't. If you want to go further in life, you have to develop a backbone, because when you're too nice, too accommodating, too eager to please everyone, you'll get walked over and your progress will stall. Toughness means being able to say no when you need to, even if it means disappointing others. It means holding yourself accountable even when the going gets tough. and staying true to your goals no matter how many obstacles are in your way. Toughness is about having the courage to be the person you need to be, not the person others want you to be. When you get tough, you start making decisions that serve your long-term success, not just your short-term comfort. You stop worrying about being liked by everyone and start focusing on being respected for who you are and what you stand for. Now, toughness isn't about being harsh or cold. It's about having the discipline to stick to your values, the wisdom to make decisions that align with your goals, and the grit to keep moving forward when things aren't easy. You can be kind, considerate, and respectful, but you can also be firm, resilient, and strong. Life demands that you be a little tough if you want to make a real impact. Embrace that toughness, because it's what will ultimately help you achieve the success and fulfillment you're truly capable of. Life is not about being liked by everyone. In fact, if you're trying to win the approval of every single person you meet, you're setting yourself up for disappointment. The truth is, not everyone is going to like you, and that's perfectly okay. It's a natural part of life. Some people will appreciate you, others won't. And here's the key: you don't need everyone to like you to be successful or fulfilled. You see, when you make being liked your ultimate goal, you lose your sense of purpose. You begin to mold yourself into someone you're not just to fit into others' expectations. The problem with this is that in the end, you'll lose sight of who you really are, and in trying to please everyone, you end up pleasing no one, not even yourself. Success and fulfillment don't come from being liked by everyone. They come from being true to yourself, from standing for what you believe in, and from taking bold actions toward your goals, regardless of who agrees with you along the way. When you're focused on pleasing others, you're often ignoring the bigger picture, your own growth, your dreams, and your vision for the future. You can't achieve greatness if you're too concerned about what everyone thinks of you. It's important to remember that people will always have their opinions, and sometimes those opinions will not align with yours. That's fine. You don't have to apologize for your choices, for your values, or for your path in life. In fact, the more you try to conform to the expectations of others, the less likely you are to create the life that truly satisfies you. If you're constantly living for someone else's approval, you're never going to make the impact you were born to make. There's freedom in embracing the fact that not everyone is going to like you. You can stop pretending, stop wearing a mask, and stop performing for the approval of others. Instead, you can focus on becoming the best version of yourself, someone who lives with purpose, conviction, and clarity. When you stop worrying about whether or not people like you, you start focusing on the people who matter, the ones who respect you for who you truly are, the ones who believe in your journey and support you in your growth. In the end, the people who matter most are the ones who appreciate your authenticity, not your ability to conform to their desires. So let go of the need for universal approval. Live for yourself and pursue what truly matters. When you do that, you'll find that you attract the right people into your life, the ones who genuinely support and value you. And that, my friends, is far more fulfilling than trying to be like the beer one. Your time is valuable. Use it wisely. Time once spent is gone forever. It doesn't matter how much money you have, how much influence you wield, or how many connections you've made. If you waste time, you waste your life. Time is the one thing you can never get back, and that's why it's crucial to understand its true worth. You have 24 hours in a day, just like everyone else, and how you choose to spend those hours will determine your success, your happiness, and the impact you make in the world. We live in a world full of distractions, temptations, and endless opportunities to procrastinate. But each minute you spend chasing distractions, each hour you waste on activities that don't align with your goals is a minute or hour you'll never get back. The difference between those who achieve success and those who don't is how they choose to manage their time. Successful people don't let their days slip away. They're intentional about how they spend every hour, every minute, and every second of their time. When you use your time wisely, you're building the future you want. It's not about working 24/7 or being busy just for the sake of it. It's about focusing on the things that truly matter, the things that bring you closer to your vision and your goals. It's about being deliberate with your actions, about prioritizing the tasks and activities that will move you forward, and about saying no to things that don't serve your greater purpose. The most successful people know this. Time is more valuable than money. When you spend your time wisely, you're investing in your future, and that investment pays the best returns. You have to ask yourself, how much time am I spending on things that will improve my life? How much time am I wasting on things that will ultimately leave me stuck or unfulfilled? Are the things I do every day moving me closer to my dreams, or are they keeping me in a cycle of mediocrity? If you want to create a life of success, you must start by taking full responsibility for your time. The key is to be conscious of where your time goes. Take control of your schedule, set clear goals, and protect your time like it's your most valuable asset, because in many ways it is. Don't let others steal your time with endless requests or unnecessary distractions. Don't let the world pull you in 1,000 different directions. Choose your time investments carefully and be ruthless with your focus. In the end, it's not about how much time you have, it's about how wisely you use the time you've been given. Time is the one thing you can never replace, so make sure you spend it on things that matter. Set boundaries with purpose and set them wisely. Boundaries are not walls to keep people out, but rather guidelines to protect your energy, your time, and your focus. Too many people let others walk all over them because they don't understand the importance of boundaries. They think it's rude or selfish to say no, but in reality, it's one of the most powerful tools you have to maintain your integrity, stay on track, and live a life aligned with your values and goals. Setting boundaries is about creating a structure in your life that allows you to thrive. You can't be everything to everyone, and if you try, you'll end up being nothing to yourself. When you don't have clear boundaries, you open the door for others to take advantage of your time, energy, and resources. You'll find yourself stretched thin, drained, and frustrated, and all because you didn't establish the limits that would protect your well-being. Boundaries give you the space you need to focus on what truly matters. They allow you to dedicate your time and energy to the things that align with your goals and your purpose. Without boundaries, you'll get caught up in other people's agendas, and before you know it, your dreams will be on the back burner. The key to setting boundaries is to do it with purpose, understand why you're saying no or why you're drawing a line, and do it with clarity and conviction. It's important to remember that boundaries are not just about saying no to others, they're about saying yes to yourself. It's about protecting your priorities and ensuring that your actions are in line with your long-term vision. Whether it's setting limits on your time, the type of work you're willing to take on, or the kinds of relationships you engage in, your boundaries should reflect what you value most. When you set boundaries with purpose, you're not being rude or unkind, you're being responsible. You're taking control of your life and ensuring that you're not being pulled in directions that don't serve your growth. It's about teaching others how to treat you, and it starts with you respecting yourself enough to enforce those boundaries. And don't be afraid to be firm. Don't be afraid to prioritize your goals over short-term comfort or temporary approval. People may test your boundaries, but that's when you stand firm and remind yourself that your time, your energy, and your well-being are valuable. In the long run, setting boundaries will help you achieve more, stay focused, and live a life that's aligned with your true purpose. It's not about being rigid or inflexible, it's about being wise, intentional, and unapologetically committed to what matters most in your life. Choose to be genuine, not nice. You see, being nice can often be a disguise. It's a social tool that people use to fit in, avoid conflict, or please others. But niceness at its core doesn't necessarily reflect who you are or what you stand for. It's easy to be nice, to say the right things, and to put on a pleasant face for everyone around you, but that's not what will truly set you apart. What will set you apart is authenticity, being real, being true to yourself, and being consistent with your values, no matter the circumstances. When you choose to be genuine, you stop worrying about whether people like you or not. You focus on being who you are, even if that means challenging the status quo, even if that means standing alone sometimes. You stop trying to meet everyone's expectations and start meeting your own. And that's where true power lies. Because when you're genuine, you attract people who align with who you really are, not the version of you that you're pretending to be. Now, being genuine doesn't mean being rude or dismissive. It doesn't mean disregarding others or acting in ways that hurt those around you. It means being honest even when the truth isn't easy to share. It means speaking from the heart rather than just saying what others want to hear. It means having the courage to express your thoughts even if they don't align with popular opinion, and standing firm in your beliefs even when it's uncomfortable. The problem with always trying to be nice is that you end up living for approval. You end up making decisions based on how they'll be received rather than based on what's right for you. But when you choose to be genuine, you live for yourself. You align your actions with your core values, and you stop pretending to be someone you're not just to fit in. The result? You gain respect. You gain trust. And you gain freedom, the freedom to be your authentic self in every situation. When you're genuine, people will respect you for the real you, not a facade. You'll find yourself surrounded by individuals who appreciate your authenticity, your integrity, and your courage to be yourself. Yes, there will be those who don't like it, who would rather you were a little more nice, a little more agreeable. But here's the thing, those aren't the people you need. The people you need are the ones who value you for your true self. So choose to be genuine. Choose to be the person who speaks their truth, who honors their values, and who doesn't shy away from difficult conversations or uncomfortable situations. It's the genuine people who make the real difference in this world. And it's by being true to yourself that you'll find the success and fulfillment that niceness could never bring. Nice people don't get ahead, productive people do. It's a hard truth, but it's one that we all need to understand if we're serious about achieving success. Being nice, while it's a quality that many people value, won't get you to the top. It won't push you past the obstacles or help you break through the barriers standing in your way. You can be the nicest person in the room, But if you're not taking action, if you're not producing results, if you're not making progress, then being nice won't take you far. Being productive means doing the work that others might avoid. It's about taking the necessary steps, even when they're uncomfortable or challenging. It's about making tough decisions, staying focused, and putting in the effort even when no one is watching. Productive people know that success isn't handed to them. It's earned through consistent action, discipline, and a relentless drive to move forward. Nice people tend to focus on pleasing others, avoiding conflict, and staying comfortable. They say yes to everyone, even when it means sacrificing their own time, energy, or dreams. They avoid difficult conversations and take the easy route. But productive people understand that success requires sacrifices. It requires discomfort. It requires having the courage to say no when necessary and to set boundaries that protect their time and focus. Productive people are driven by results, not by the desire to be liked or to avoid challenges. They understand that being liked is a byproduct of doing great work, not the end goal. Success isn't about being liked. It's about being effective. It's about focusing on the tasks and actions that will move you closer to your goals. It's about getting the right things done, even when it means making tough choices and facing opposition. It's about taking responsibility for your results and knowing that your progress is up to you, not anyone else. Productive people don't wait for opportunities to come to them. They create their own opportunities by consistently putting in the work. Being nice is not a weakness, it's a quality that can make you a great person to be around. But it's not the thing that will push you to the top. What will get you ahead is your ability to produce results, to take action, and to make things happen. You need to stop being nice for the sake of being nice and start being productive for the sake of your future. When you focus on productivity, you align your efforts with your goals, and that's when true success starts to unfold. The world doesn't reward niceness, it rewards action. So stop waiting around for things to happen and start making them happen. Be productive, be focused, and be relentless in the pursuit of your goals. If you do that, you'll see that success doesn't require being nice, it requires being effective. It requires producing results. Develop the courage to disagree. It's easy to go along with the crowd, to nod in agreement, and to avoid rocking the boat. But that's not where real growth happens. Real growth, real change, and real progress come from having the courage to stand up for what you believe in, even when it means disagreeing with others. It's about having the strength to voice your opinion even if it's unpopular or uncomfortable. It's about embracing the idea that your perspective matters, and sometimes the best way to move forward is to challenge the status quo. Most people are afraid of disagreement. They worry about being judged, rejected, or labeled as difficult, so they stay quiet. They avoid expressing their thoughts or opinions for fear of conflict. But here's the truth, if you never disagree, you'll never grow. Disagreement is a tool for learning, for finding better solutions, and for pushing yourself and others to think more deeply and critically. When you develop the courage to disagree, you open the door to new possibilities. You challenge ideas, spark meaningful conversations, and force everyone around you to consider other perspectives. The disagreeing doesn't mean being disrespectful or confrontational. It doesn't mean disregarding others' feelings or belittling their ideas. It means standing firm in your beliefs and expressing them with conviction and respect. It means being willing to offer a different viewpoint and to challenge assumptions that may be holding you or others back. You can disagree and still remain civil, kind, and professional. The key is to do it with purpose and integrity. Think about the most successful people, those who have made a lasting impact in their fields. They didn't get there by always agreeing with everyone else. They got there by thinking for themselves, by questioning norms, by challenging what was considered conventional wisdom. They were willing to take a stand, even when it was unpopular. And in doing so, they created new paths, opened up new conversations, and led by example. If you're going to make a real difference in your life and in the world, you have to be willing to disagree when it's necessary. You have to be willing to say, I don't think that's the right approach, or I see it differently, and stand by that belief. It's not about being stubborn or obstinate. It's about having the courage to speak up, to offer your insights, and to help others see things from a new angle. At the end of the day, disagreement is not about creating division, it's about fostering growth. It's about creating space for different ideas to flourish, for better solutions to emerge, and for people to challenge themselves and each other. So start developing the courage to disagree. Speak up when something doesn't feel right. Stand firm in your beliefs and encourage others to do the same. It's through disagreement that we learn, evolve, and ultimately create a world that's better for all of us. Your growth is your responsibility. No one else can do it for you. Too many people wait for the perfect opportunity, the right circumstances, or someone else to take the lead on their development. But the truth is, your future is in your hands, and if you want to grow, you have to take ownership of it. The path to personal and professional growth isn't something that just happens by chance. It requires intentional action, consistent effort, and a mindset that refuses to settle for mediocrity. The first step in taking responsibility for your growth is to recognize that no one is going to show up and change your life for you. It's not your boss's responsibility to push you forward. It's not your family's job to ensure you succeed, and it's certainly not the world's duty to provide you with every opportunity. The responsibility lies with you. You are the one who decides how much effort you put in, how much time you invest in learning, and how much you're willing to push yourself to grow beyond your limits. Growth isn't always comfortable. In fact, it's often uncomfortable. It means stepping out of your comfort zone, doing things you've never done before, and facing challenges that stretch you in ways you didn't think possible. But it's in those moments of discomfort that true growth happens. If you want to move forward, you have to be willing to endure the struggle. Growth isn't about avoiding failure, it's about learning from it, adjusting, and continuing to move forward. The moment you take full responsibility for your growth, you stop waiting for perfect conditions. You start taking action even when the timing isn't ideal, and you push through the tough times because you know that's where the magic happens. What's also crucial to understand is that growth is a lifelong process. There's no finish line, no ultimate destination where you can say, I've arrived. Every level you reach presents new challenges, new opportunities, and new areas for growth. This means you can't afford to rest on your laurels. Just because you've accomplished something today doesn't mean you stop learning or growing tomorrow. Your potential is limitless, but it requires constant effort. You must continue to seek knowledge, refine your skills, and adapt to the changes that come your way. When you take responsibility for your growth, you stop blaming external circumstances. You don't point fingers at others, the economy, or your environment. You realize that no matter what happens around you, the one thing you control is your own development. The way you respond to challenges, the attitude you adopt in the face of adversity, and the decisions you make every day are all part of how you grow. Your growth isn't just about what you achieve, it's about who you become along the way. The more you invest in yourself, the better equipped you are to handle life's challenges, the more valuable you become to others, and the more impact you can make in the world. No one else can shape your future. Only you have the power to decide how far you'll go, what you'll learn, and what kind of person you'll become. So take full responsibility for your growth. Commit to learning, evolving, and pushing yourself every day. Make it a priority to invest in your development, to seek out opportunities to learn, and to embrace the discomfort that comes with becoming better. Because in the end, your growth is your responsibility, and it's the greatest investment you'll ever make. Success requires boldness. It's not for the timid or the hesitant. It's not for those who wait for the perfect moment or those who tiptoe around opportunities, hoping everything will line up just right. Success favors the bold, the ones who dare to take risks, who step into the unknown with courage, and who are willing to act even when the outcome is uncertain. It's about having the guts to pursue your dreams, make tough decisions, and push past the fear that holds so many people back. Boldness isn't about being reckless or charging ahead without thought. It's about moving forward despite the fear. It's about feeling uncertain but choosing to act anyway. The truth is, if you wait until you feel completely ready, you'll be waiting forever. Conditions are rarely perfect, and certainty is a luxury the bold don't wait for. They understand that hesitation kills more dreams than failure ever will. So they make decisions swiftly, seize opportunities quickly, and learn as they go. To be bold is to trust yourself. It's to have confidence in your abilities, even when the odds seem stacked against you. It's knowing that mistakes are part of the journey and that setbacks don't define you, your response to them does. Boldness means looking at challenges and saying, I will figure this out, rather than shrinking back and hoping someone else will solve the problem. It's about committing fully, diving in head first, and refusing to let fear dictate your choices. Bold people don't just dream big, they act big. They set audacious goals and chase them with relentless determination. They aren't satisfied with comfort zones or small victories. They aim for greatness. When the bold fall short, they don't crumble. They analyze, adapt, and push forward stronger than before. Failure doesn't frighten them, it fuels them. They know that boldness is what separates the achievers from the dreamers, the successful from the stuck. If you want to succeed, you have to be willing to take risks, to step out of your comfort zone, and to make moves that might seem intimidating. Playing it safe keeps you stuck. It keeps you small. It keeps you from experiencing the life you truly want. The bold understand that safety is often the enemy of success. They recognize that the biggest rewards come to those who are willing to bet on themselves, even when no guarantees exist. Success demands that you speak up when it's easier to stay silent. It requires that you stand out when blending in would be more comfortable. It calls for decisions that others might call crazy, but are necessary. It's about pursuing opportunities that others overlook and challenging yourself to rise above mediocrity. Boldness is about being willing to fail spectacularly if it means the chance to succeed tremendously. You don't get what you want in life by waiting for it to be handed to you. You get it by going after it with conviction and tenacity. It's the bold who take the first step, make the first move, and create their own luck. They know that fortune favors those who act, not those who wait. So be bold. Decide what you want and go after it with everything you've got. Success won't come to the timid, it comes to those who dare greatly and are willing to pay the price for greatness.